Hello again, everybody. It is Thursday, which means it is once again time for one of my weekly haul review and just sort of rundown of everything that I picked up this week. So we're going to talk about the books I grabbed last week and then a list, kind of show you what I got this week. I do this every Thursday, and so far I've been doing pretty good. I'm not sure if I think really the only times I missed is last year when everything was kind of all 2020. So, that said, I do have a few new subscribers, so thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. I do hope you enjoy what I do here each and every week. I am working on expanding the channel a little bit, adding a few more videos. As soon as I hammer down the specifics of what I want to do, then I'll be adding more stuff. I'll keep you guys posted on what's going to happen there. I am rather picking up some equipment, some stuff. I just got a new light to kind of help add some quality, I guess, to the content that I do here. I don't know. But thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your support. And as always, before we get into the books I picked up last week, like, subscribe, comment, share the video, all that fun stuff. And at the end of my video this week, I am going to be sharing a couple of books from my collection. It's kind of a way to get used to talking about books that I've had for years in my collection. So I just reached in a box and pulled out a miniseries. There's no science behind it. That science has not been settled yet as far as how I'm going to choose the books I talk about. I just grabbed some books. So that aside, let's talk about the books that I picked up last week. We're going to start with Spawn 315. It's the first appearance of this lady here. However, she does not appear in the book at all, which was kind of annoying because the only reason why I picked up this issue is because I liked the cover. I liked her. I liked the visual of a she-Spawn. I don't know what we're going to call her. But having not read Spawn since about issue 13, 14, I'm a little behind on what's going on with the mythos of the character. So I tried to read it. I have no idea who any of these characters are, but she did not appear in the issue at all that I could see. So it's kind of annoying, but that aside, and that little tiny gripe, which I do hate it when publishers have a character on the cover and make a big deal out of the debut of a character and they don't even feature in the book. But that is still a really sweet cover. I really, really like that cover. Moving on, let's talk about Stray Dogs. Number 1. This is a 5-issue miniseries from Image Comics. This is has been described as Lady and the Tramp meets Silence of the Lambs. And what it is you've got this little doggy here. She, at the beginning of the issue, is at the vet with her owner. She gets a shot, kind of gets, she doesn't get put to sleep, but she goes unconscious and she wakes up in a house that's not hers around other dogs and this strange man whose face we never see, and all the dogs refer to him as the master. So the problem is, aside from all that, is she has no idea how she got there. She doesn't have any memories at all. But through this issue, there are a few things that do trigger some memories and are not good. So this was, I don't know, I didn't really have high hopes for this issue, but this ended up being a very entertaining read. It's 5-issue miniseries, as I said before. I will be checking out the remaining 4 issues because it's good. I'm very curious to see where it goes, especially without any spoilers. So I don't only do spoilers here. With the memories that were triggered by the end of this issue, it's going to be really interesting where it goes. Plus, there is the aside from all that intrigue, the writer does add in the extra kick that dogs have a short-term memory, essentially. They remember specific things from way back when, but there's minute details and sometimes very important things that they forget, and that will play heavily, I believe, in how this story unfolds. But if you haven't checked out Stray Dogs number 1, do grab it. If your LCS still has it, check it out. It is a rather interesting read, and I very much enjoyed it. The final book that I picked up last week was Something That's Killing the Children number 15. I was only able to get this cover. My LCS did not get any of the variants, so I'm okay with that. I do have this. I've got all the issues so far. So this one was the one that everybody thought was going to be the final issue of this series. I even thought it was going to be the final issue of this series, but it turns out this is the final issue of the first story arc with this town in Wisconsin that this first story, Archer's Peak or something like that. But this wraps up the story. We're going to take a month or 2 off, sort of like Stillwater. Stillwater is another great series, but that's taking a few months hiatus. But when the series picks up with issue 16th in a couple of months, so we're going to be getting into Erica Slaughter's origin, which I'm very curious about, and I'm really eager to see where that goes. So that was it. Those were the books that I picked up last week. So let's quickly go through the books that I picked up this week. Crossover number 4. Now, if anybody who has been really paying attention to my videos, I have not talked about this series at all. And it's because I have not picked up any of this series at all. It's written by Donny Cates. I'm not a really big fan of Donny Cates, so I didn't even bother picking it up. So why did I get this issue? Out of all the issues that are out and all the covers that are out, why did they get this one? Simple. Madman and Mike Allred. So when you have Mike Allred Madman on the cover of a comic book, just like that Black Hammer book from a couple of weeks ago, they had milk and cheese on it. I'm going to check it out. I may not check this out because I'm not going to have a single clue as what's going on, but I love having this cover, this Madman cover, and kind of looks like he's facing off against some Marvel characters. If you look here, it almost kind of looks like zombie Wolverine with the tears in his costume there. But I won't be reading this book. I really don't have an interest in it, but I had to grab it for the Mike Allred Madman cover. Absolutely love it. This one came out a couple of weeks ago, but my LCS just this week was able to finally get it in my hands. This is from American Mythology Productions. This is Three Stooges Through the Ages. I love these Three Stooges books. And they do have a checklist in here of all the Stooges books that they've done over the past 5 years, and it looks like I've actually missed a couple. So I'm going to go through my collection, find out which ones I'm missing if I am, and I'm going to get my little grubby paws on those books. But I love these American Mythology Three Stooges books. They really know how to write those characters, so I've enjoyed them thoroughly. So also this week I grabbed from Image Comics again Nocturna number 1. This was my LCS had a couple of the variant covers because apparently every book now needs to have 100 billion variant covers. So it was a matter of trying to decide which cover it was. Fortunately, my LCS was down to 3 by the time I got down there. So between my wife and I, we were able to whittle it down to this one here, which we both agreed was probably the best cover of the 3. It was her favorite and it's my favorite, and I'm very interested in checking that one out. Demon Days, X-Men Demon Days from Marvel. Again, I'm not an X-Men fan, but I am a Peach Momoko fan, and I'm going to check this out just for that. Unfortunately, it looks like they had to shoehorn Venom or the symbiotes in here. I don't know why the symbiotes really aren't that interesting of a concept, especially since they've been so overused the past couple years. But it's Peach Momoko. This is an amazing cover. She's an amazing artist, one of my favorites. So I had to grab that to check it out. And over at DC, got Batman 106. I did grab the variant cover. Despite my disliking of variants, I do like that cover. I also grabbed the standard cover, which is very nice. Although I really do not like this Infinite Frontier trade dress that's on them now. I think it's distracting. I think it's ugly, and I think it's pointless. Just like having a $4.99 cover price, which they're trying to rationalize by saying, hey, we're giving you a backup story in all these books that are $4.99 now. But if the backup story is not one that I'm interested in and I'm not going to read, what's the point? Why should I spend an additional $1 on a book that I'm not going to enjoy the whole thing of? That's just kind of a waste of money, especially, in this day and age when, we need to start watching what we're spending. But if the main story is as good as it has been, even with the backup story being pointless, I don't know what the backup story is. I think it's Robin. It says featuring Robin. So, whatever. But if the story is still good, I'm going to stick with it. I think they're going to be introducing Scarecrow, which I am very curious to see James Tynion's visualization and interpretation of the Scarecrow character. I think it's been in comics for a while. But that's it. Those are the books that I got this week. That's what I got last week. So just for the heck of it, I'm going to show you some this miniseries that it's nothing new, it's nothing spectacular, but it's the beginning of sharing the books that are in my collection. And we're going to start from DC Invasion. So I grabbed these. I got all 3 of them, and they're square-bound books. You can see they're all kind of on the thick side there. All square-bound books about an invasion of these aliens. I think they were called the Dominators. I'm not. It's been forever since I've even looked at these books, but it's kind of kind of a Mars Attacks, the DC Universe type thing, if I remember right. Only not the Tim Burton Mars Attacks with the ha-ha jokes, but the original Topps Mars Attacks, where it's kind of vicious, kind of violent. But I got the first issue. I always kind of like the second issue here. Always like the coloring and just the idea of the picture. I don't know. There's just something about it that I've always really kind of enjoyed. And then it wrapped up with book 3. And that's pretty much all I got about that. So that's it. That's my books for this week. So again, thanks for watching. New subscribers, thank you for joining us. Again, I hope you enjoy what I do here. I do this. I do these every week on Thursday. Just kind of talk about the books that I picked up the previous week. Just do little bullet reviews on those, and then I share the books that I picked up, the new books that I picked up each week. And I'm gonna start going through and grabbing random books from my collection and kind of sharing the books that I have, and maybe eventually be able to spin those off into their own little video series to kind of get some more content on this channel here. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, following, all that fun stuff. Comment down below, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your new comics. See you next week.